Hello everyone and welcome to my first video on this channel. I'm Francine but you can call me Paps and welcome to Little Mini Paps. So before we start with today's video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, turn notifications on so you'll never miss an upload. So without further ado, let's start with today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a flower vase painting. So I start off with the background, with the darker side on the edges and the lighter side in the middle. Here I used black, white, and a little bit of red to add some tone to it. By the way, the colors I used are listed in the description down below. As you can see, the light side is in the middle, and the darker side is in the edges. So, let's get into it. So I added a dark tone at the bottom to give translucency in the piece of cloth, which I will paint later. Then I started to paint the wooden table with some brown. So I added some highlights to the table to, well, make it look like wood. So what I did is mix some white and some yellow ochre to create a light tone. Then I added some shadows with some brown and a little bit of black. And then smudged it with my fingers. Next, I mixed some white, some yellow ochre, and a little bit of brown for the cloth. So as you can see, when I layer the white with a dark tone at the bottom, it makes kind of like an effect that the piece of cloth is a little bit translucent. So I added some black with some brown to make the folds on the cloth. By the way, the mixture for the brown is some yellow ochre, some black, a little bit of blue, red, and some yellow. So I painted out some folds and then smudged it with my fingers and added some highlights and some shadows. I painted on more folds. To give the effect of the base standing on the cloth. I added more shadows and highlights. Next, we will sketch out our base. You need to use a thin brush for this part. Mix up some blue and black and then fill it in. While it's still a little wet, add some white to make the highlights. And then smudge it with your fingers. Yes, it's a little messy, but the end product is going to be very good. Next, I added some shine to it. mix up some blue, some yellow ochre, yellow, some brown, and then sketch it out. Right now, it doesn't matter if the leaves are not symmetrical. Once it's dry, paint in the flower. Mix up some red, a little bit of brown, some yellow, and some white. And yes, right now I noticed that the light isn't on, so I turn it on. Next, I add some petals laying on the cloth. Let it dry and then add in the highlights and the shadows. I used some red for the shadows and some white for the highlights. Add a little bit of white and yellow for a little highlight. And then mix up some blue and red for a little bit of shadow to create some tone to the flowers. Just add a little bit of those two colors. Next, mix up some white, some yellow, a little bit of yellow ochre, and a little bit of blue to create the highlights for the leaves. Next, mix up some of the base color for the leaves and some black. Then add some shadow under the flowers and some on the leaves itself. Add some red on the tip of the petals and some black for the shadow underneath. Add some finishing touches. Sign it up. And you're done. So here's the finished product. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!